They can come back though, right? Yes.
Okay, are we ready? Ian?
Yeah.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this morning, and obviously this is a joint meeting, and I would like to call the Senate Standing Committee on Families and Children's meeting number 8 to order, and would ask that the Secretary to please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams. Senator Girdler. Senator Harper Angel. Senator Bledsoe. Senator Meredith. Senator Tishner. Senator Webb. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wise. Chairman Carroll.
Here, we do have a quorum.
Good morning. I hereby call this the sixth meeting of the House Standing Committee on Families and Children to order. Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Baker, Representative Banta, Representative Kleins.
Here.
Representative Decker,
Present.
Representative Dietz,
Here.
Representative Elliott, Representative Fleming, Representative Gooch, Representative Proctor, Representative Rayburn, Representative Raymond, Representative Riley, Representative Rorks,
Here.
Representative Tate, Representative Wilner, Representative Wilson,
Here.
Chair Heverin.
Okay, we have a quorum. We are duly constituted to do business.
I'd like to let our members know in the Senate that we are going to go through items 3 and 4, and then the House will adjourn, and then we will hear House Bill 125, just so you know what to expect.
Okay, today we are in a joint meeting with the House and the Senate for Families and Children to hear to have a legislative hearing on the 2023 Social Services Block Grant State Plan. Can you please come up to the table to present? Please make sure that each of you introduce yourself for the record and make sure your microphone is on when you're speaking. You will see a bright green button.
Good morning. My name is Laura Began. I'm the Regulation and Legislative Lead for the Department for Community-Based Services.
Good morning. I'm Misty Salmons. I'm the Director for the Division of Administration and Financial Management for DCBS.
Good morning. I'm Mary Carpenter. I'm an executive advisor with the Department for Community-Based Services.
So thank you for having us here today to talk to you about this Social Services Block Grant. This is one of the large federal block grants that the department administers. Because we have both committees here today and we have some new members, we thought we'd go over just a little bit of an overview about the Department for Community-Based Services. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services is the largest cabinet in state government, and the Department for Community-Based Services is the largest department in the cabinet. We are responsible for delivering services to families to enhance their self-sufficiency and the protection and permanency for children and vulnerable adults, and engaging families with community partners. DCBS administers programs related to the protection of children and vulnerable adults. We administer public assistance programs, and we regulate child care. Our services enhance through a close relationship and coordination with community partners, and we've really embraced and expanded on this the past few years with providing preventive child welfare services. DCBS has over 4,000 employees, and we have employees and offices in every county in the state. I provide just a snapshot of programs that DCBS administers. This is not all of them. There are very important programs not included here, but I specifically included a number of these because they are funded through federal block grants. So to talk a little bit about these block grants, DCBS administers 5 of these. DCBS presented to the Senate Families and Children Committee on this first one, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, just about a month ago. So some of this will be a little bit of review for some of you. We administer these other block grants listed here that you'll hear more about through the year and years to come. We are here today because in order to receive these large substantial amounts of block grant funds, which altogether total usually about $300 million. These grants are varying in amounts, but that's usually about the total. It does vary. Sometimes in the pandemic, we saw that a couple of these block grants received additional pandemic funds, but it's typically pretty much about $300 million, and the amounts that we've received every year are pretty typical for these. So back to state plan submittal. In order to receive these block grant funds, the state does have to submit a state plan detailing how we plan to use these funds. And those plans have to be consistent with national goals that were set for these block grants. And I'll get into those goals a little more in a minute. But before we can submit our state plans to the federal government, KRS Chapter 45 requires us to submit preliminary plans to the Legislative Research Commission. So we submit a preliminary state plan that has been submitted to the LRC, and then typically the state plan is placed on a committee agenda, and the committee meeting serves as a public hearing on the preliminary state plan. We can accept comments and respond to those formally in writing a little bit later on before the end of the close of the comment period. So we're in this state plan comment period right now. Also, KRS Chapter 45 requires us to submit half-year block grant status reports. So you will see those. Those will come to the LRC twice a year, just with the status of budgeted amounts and expenditures. So all of those are for lawmaker review. Just to get into a little bit of the history and purpose of this block grant, specifically, SSBG was created by Congress in the 1980s. We have the national goals, just like we presented on TANF. There were 5 national goals for that block grant as well. The purpose of SSBG, created by Congress, was to combine all of the federal assistance for social services into one single grant. To enable individuals to remain self-sufficient and economically independent. Now, some of these goals may sound very familiar too. The first 2 have a lot in common with the TANF block grant, promoting self-sufficiency and dependency and helping individuals to do that. The last 3 is where we really get into programs specific to those funded by SSBG. Preventing or remedying neglect, abuse, or exploitation of children or adults unable to protect their own interest, and reuniting families. Preventing or reducing inappropriate institutional care by working with our community partners. And securing referral or admission for institutional care when necessary and other forms of care are not appropriate. So here are the programs that we fund specifically with SSBG that meet these national goals. We prioritize ones that are mandated by Kentucky law. So we're going to talk a little bit, just to give you an overview today of
Okay, we have a motion from the House on the block grant and a second.
Do I have a motion from the Senate? We have a motion, we have a second. We have a motion and a second. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams, Senator Girdler, Senator Harper Angel, Senator Bledsoe, Senator Meredith, Senator Tishner, Senator Webb, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, Chairman Carroll.
Aye. How many? 7. On a vote of 7-0, the motion to accept the block grant carries.
Okay. Okay. Secretary, please call the roll for the House.
Representative Baker, Representative Banta, Representative Kleins, Representative Decker,
Yes.
Representative Dietz,
Yes.
Representative Elliott, Representative Fleming, Representative Gooch, Representative Proctor, Representative Rayburn, Representative Raymond, Representative Riley, Representative Rorks,
Yes.
Representative Tate, Representative Wilner,
Yes.
Representative Wilson,
Yes.
Chair Heverin.
Yes, and I would quickly like to recognize Representative Fleming to see if he would like. Okay, thank you. The motion passes 11-0. Thank you all. Do I have a motion from the House to adjourn? Motion second. Okay, the House is adjourned.
I would ask Representative Raymer to please come to the table. Appreciate it. If both of you could please introduce yourself for the record, and you have the floor.
Rebecca Raymer, State Representative for District 15.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Mackenzie Wallace, Director of Public Policy for the Alzheimer's Association.
So House Bill 125 is really a public health initiative. It is just directing the Department of Public Health to work with the Department of Aging and Independent Living to incorporate information about dementia and Alzheimer's into publications that it already publishes and puts out into health departments and adult living daycares and things like that. It's the first time we as a state have addressed Alzheimer's and dementia through the public health lens.
Yeah, and just a quick point, Mr. Chair, the reason we're excited about this and why this is needed, we have some really good recent data from the 2020 Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance Survey that indicated that 11.2% of Kentuckians age 45 and older have self-reported experiencing some memory loss, confusion, or otherwise known as subjective cognitive decline. And what's more problematic about that statistic is that 84% of those individuals are also managing other chronic conditions or comorbidities, such as diabetes, heart disease, et cetera.
Motion on the bill.
Have a motion and a second. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams, Senator Girdler, Senator Harper Angel, Senator Bledsoe, Senator Meredith, Senator Tishner, Senator Webb, Senator Westerfield, Senator Wise, Chairman Carroll.
Aye. On a vote of 7-0, the motion carries with favorable expression. Same should pass on the Senate floor. Representative Raymer, congratulations, and thank you both. We have a motion for consent and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill will be carried on the consent agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
All right. We stand adjourned.
And I can fill this out. Yeah, I need him to sign both, just that one. Oh, he doesn't have to sign anything for the block grant. Yeah. Very nice. All right, cool. Did he take up all the agendas?
Representative, who was that? What was his name?
Westerfield.
No.
Oh,
in
what?
the House. Representative Walker, I think his name is. He's the one who first did
Oh,
the
yeah,
motion.
no.
Did they tell him to do it, or was he just
He's
like,
the guy.
I'm not going to listen?
Yeah, no, he's the guy from Survivor. No, he
From
knew
where?
from Survivor. He was on Survivor.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he won.
On the show?
Yeah.
He was on the show, no?
Yeah, Nick something. Gosh, what is his name? DJ.
Have a good one, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, you have a good day. You're welcome. You too. Thank you.
His name, Wilson?
Wilson, yeah, Nick Wilson, yeah. He played two seasons of it. He did one season, and I think he won that one, and then he came from back in All Stars
Oh, no way.
and went to like 6th place or
Oh,
something.
on Survivor.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's cool.
yeah.
But
He didn't know about the. He was saying about Nick Wilson. I was like, yeah, he's the guy from Survivor. Yeah.